Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures. Today we're going to take a look at some more Artisan Guild's prints. Artisan Guild has been putting out steadily all kinds of interesting 3D model files on Patreon, and we'll put a link down below to their Patreon page if you're curious. But I gotta say, they have continued to impress me to the point where I'm almost over the edge and just buying myself a damn 3D printer and getting on with it. So I grabbed a selection of interesting models just because that's what I like to do. Why would I have any rhyme or reason to the things that we paint other than the fact that we'll eventually find a way to shoehorn them into some game sooner or later? But we got one of their vampire hero models from a couple months ago. And I gave everything just a quick spray to hopefully try to help have the detail stand out a little bit better. And yeah, I know it's got a little bit of that pinkish hue that the original resin still has, but, deal with it. One of the things that I really like about most of these printed models is the fact that they have all kinds of bases. And I mean, if you've got access to the printer at that point, why not have custom bases for everything? And he's just a nice looking model. I really like the bone motif going on with his armor there. Not sure what the spikes are all for. I was going to say, I know, like, on their orc model, I don't know if these are supposed to be bones or spikes or something as well. You can see here they scale pretty decently together. Grabbing some other models that people may recognize, like a Stormcast Eternal or my Witch Hunter friend. So you can see the Artisan Guild stuff does tend to run a little bit bigger. So if you're like really, really picky about scale, I mean, I guess you could always scale these down unless you're, even if you're going to have somebody print it for you. I had to get these printed from an outside source. If you're curious, I'll put a link down below to the store I got them from on Etsy. But, I mean, overall, the quality is really, really there. It's getting better and better. So, in addition to our vampire friend, I got one of their Amazon queens. I don't have her glued onto the base. I don't even know whose base is whose. Not that it matters, because I have plenty of other custom bases laying around upstairs in my office waiting to get used. But the detail is just really nice. For some reason, this really reminds me of one of the Blood Tribes models from Raging Heroes. And I think it's just the flowing cape and the weapons in hand. I mean, it's obvious that the pose isn't even very similar. The details aren't even matching. It just reminds me a lot the thick, strong, athletic build of the model and just, ready for action. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And again, because a lot of this, all the parts are cast, you don't have to really do much gluing, and just a really nice look. Put her there. And while they sit out of focus, we'll grab another model. One of the orcs. This is their orc priestess, druidess, and she's just pretty cool. She's pretty mean looking. And I want to say that she's one of those models that you can use a lot of the modular parts for. And there were some options available there. And size-wise, she stacks up pretty well with the other orc heroes. Whose skin is way too green. I should probably tone that down. We'll see on her. Speaking of other green things, we have one of their goblin heroes who turned out a lot larger than I was expecting. I really like this guy. You do have the option of having him with or without the hair. And he's got a cool little back banner that's just blue tacked on there for the moment. Some kind of a bomb or something. But the detail, it's just really, really nice. I mean, if you didn't know any better, and if I didn't know myself and somebody brought these to me and said, oh yeah, these are some new resin miniatures, I wouldn't think anything of it. I wouldn't know they were 3D printed. They don't look it at all. I mean, the quality just continues to grow. Like you can see just, individual stitches and stuff. And I mean, again, I think that's when you have people working to their strengths and making sure that the prints have those details showing. And another Greenskin. We've got one of their orc barbarian tribeswomen. And I gotta say, I legit had fun painting these up. I've painted a few Artisan Guild models. As you can see, she's definitely bigger. And we got a couple other Barbarian Amazon friends to go along with them. Now I see this model here, and I can't help but think Tyrus Flare from Golden Axe. So I can tell you right now, that's how she's getting painted. Even though I hate painting white, and you know, especially with that red trim on all her stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So obviously these were printed on a pretty nice 3D printer. I don't know if much about that yet, so I can't give you the specifications, but once we finally pull the trigger, hopefully I can shed some light on that, and I will definitely be showing off some other models there as well. So if you are interested, I definitely think the Artisan Guild Patreon stuff is worth looking into, because every month they offer a whole slew of models, modular parts, bits of terrain, you know, bases and everything you need. It's definitely a nice little deal. So take a look if you haven't. With that said, this is High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures. Say thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon back here. Bye-bye.